Are your children doing their GCSEs at the moment? Two of my children are, my twin boys, and so we're in the zone of juggling study leave and exams and trying to stay calm. And I was really sad to read at the weekend that the Sunday Times have classified this cohort of year 11, this generation of year 11, as the worst hit, the worst impacted from the lockdowns and the COVID shock that rippled across the world back in 2020. So our children, our GCSE kids right now, are at a significant disadvantage as they go into these exams, which might be why, if you're experiencing high stress in your household, as I certainly am, your children are finding this tough. So I wanted to give some advice on how to manage stress as it's flowing through young adolescents. One of the tips that I'm giving my children is to really harness the body and using breath work to get into the body to shush the noise in the head. So a lot of stress for any of us, GCSE students or otherwise, is when we're just locked in a swirl in the mind. And the mind can be a little devil sometimes at creating unnecessary tension and stories and unworthiness. I'm not good enough, I can't do this. And it can be agonizing to get stuck in a swirl up there of discomfort. So one of the ways to stop the panic and the anxiety is to come down into the grounded certainty of the safety of our own bodies. So a very simple way to do this with your children, and this is what I'm doing with my twin boys, is to encourage them to just take deep belly breaths. And you might think, breath work, really? But I mean it, it works. So the invitation is to get your children to sit down, feet flat on the floor, hands on their laps, back straight, and to just take a deep belly breath. So in through the nose, and feel the belly filling with air. And I invite my children to visualize a baby's belly. So think of a baby lying flat on its back and the curve of the belly. And as it rises and falls and rises and falls, that's how we should be breathing. But when we're stressed, quite often we're breathing up here and it's short, tight breath. So we need to try and encourage our children to do deep belly breaths and to ensure that we're filling the belly with breath. And as we do that and we're bringing the breath into the body, we're slowing down the central nervous system. And it starts to soothe the vagus nerve, everything starts to settle. And then I introduce another technique whilst we're doing the deep breathing to really try and hone in on the physicality of self. And I get my children to just rub their thumb against their forefingers and just become really conscious of how this feels. And I invite you, if you're the mum or the dad, the carer, have a little go and just see how that feels. As you're breathing in deep belly breaths and then you're stroking your fingertips and see how that feels. It's really powerful. It's such an easy, simple trick. So I encourage you to try it with your children. Let me know what you think. I don't just use this on my children. I use it with my clients in my burnout clinic. And this is one of those easy hacks that you can do before you're going into a meeting or an interview or something you're nervous with. You can just settle your nervous system and just do this. And then you're calm and generally everything's good. So I hope it works for you. Let me know.